With the mechanism, this is we call this the action of the piano. The goal has been to keep it as silent as possible, remembering that this is a very old piano. The idea, which starts from the pedals on the ground down here, is for them to be as silent as possible. So as you can see on the axis, there's a lot of grease. There's been grease put there, and even at the pivot points. And then you want to be able to have the inside of the piano, see how that all moves, but be as silent as possible so that when the recording's on, there's still a tiny squeak in there. So that's pretty good. And now the piano keys themselves, we had some squeakiness before. But as you can see, there's a lot of lubrication has gone underneath. That's so that axis down the bottom there, and as the keys come up, so there's a whole lot on both sides of each key. There's pivot points and little dowels, but the goal's been so that even if we do this pedal, which is designed to reduce the axis of the hammer so that it's quieter, we used felt and made a felt tip with royal felt to push against the push rod. So now we can put microphones on this piano, and all we should be able to get out of it is the sound without too much noise from the action. Still got a bit of noise that's coming out of the sustain pedal, and I think it's coming out of that axis. Could be coming out of that pivot point there. I might just check it later. I've just to give you an example, I'm using I'm not quite sure where it's coming from, but I'll give it a bit of time. And just in case you're wondering, that spray is actually a powder. It's a special powder lubricant, so when it dries it just leaves the powder, which is actually finer than graphite. It's a PTFE powder. So that's the restoration side. The next thing, of course, these pins up here hold the strings. We've got the metal frame, and we need to turn each one of these until the piano is perfectly in tune. Not too bad now. For example, this note, it's pretty good. And if I play a full chord, like three notes, it's not too bad. It comes out as a single chord, so there's no clashing or chorusy sounds. And here's a D major 7th. And of course, with the acoustic instruments, you get a really lovely decay. So this is the sustain pedal taking about close to 40 seconds to 50 seconds to fade out, and that's something you just can't achieve on digital instruments. That's why these instruments remain important. Just in case you're wondering, you see how these pads here are up? I'll take my foot off now and the sound stops. So when we push our foot, these pedals, and then when we take our foot off, it goes back down. So those are called the damper pads. There is a little bit of noise, I don't like it. I don't know where it's coming from just yet. I'm going to give it a couple of days, because that noise, when we put microphones on, we're going to put microphones around the piano and record some pieces. We want it to be as silent as possible so that the microphone doesn't detect it. And now one last important part of caring for your acoustic piano is to get these humidifiers, what are they? Dehumidifier rather, and you pop it down there just like that in the corner of the piano so it draws out all the extra moisture. So those things are really important for these old instruments. Of course I've got to take it out of its plastic bag, so I'll just unpack it a bit later. And that's it, end of restoration. Thank you, bye.